my son was diagnosed with pseudotumor when he was 13, and we started out at Children's Mercy, and he started having to have regular spinal taps to relieve the pressure off his brain and his optic nerve. They were worried he was going to go blind from the pressure and the fluid building up in his brain. And we were at Children's Mercy for almost a year, and he would have a spinal tap about every 3 to 6 weeks. And then we made our way up to Mayo Clinic, and they put him on a lot of medications, and none which they really thought would do anything. One doctor said that it only worked in rats in copious amounts, and another doctor said you should just keep taking it. But there was no results from the medication, and finally we met with a neurosurgeon. They wanted to put a drainage tube in his brain, and to keep the fluid from building up, because they couldn't keep doing spinal taps every few weeks. And so we met with a neurosurgeon at Mayo Clinic. We'd also been seeing a specialist there for several weeks, and been up to Rochester many times. And anyways, we thought the surgery was ready to go, and we went and met with the neurosurgeon. He said he didn't want to do the surgery. He said if there was a problem, nobody in our area, which at the time was Kansas City, wouldn't touch his work. And we said, it's okay, we'll just drive up there. He said probably wouldn't be enough time. He'd probably die before we got there, because that's how quickly the infection can spread in these situations. So anyways, he was going to refer us to another surgeon down in Kansas City, even though we didn't want to do that, because supposedly he was the best. And during that time, I'd taken those a couple weeks off to be up at the Mayo Clinic, and I was watching Netflix and started watching some documentaries on food. Actually, just one. I just subscribed to Netflix because I was off work so much with my son. So I watched that one documentary on food, and it was interesting. I watch a lot of documentaries, nothing special. And then the next morning, Netflix decided I liked documentaries on food, so they sent me 10 of them. And so I watched a few more, and I was actually pretty astonished at what I was learning. And I never really thought too much about food. You know, don't eat food with a lot of fat. You know, don't eat a lot of candy. Stay away from processed foods some. But that was about the extent of it. But the chemicals they had talked about in these documentaries that were getting put in food kind of surprised me, and that most countries had banned, almost all countries had banned a lot of these chemicals except the United States, and even third world countries had already banned them. And so I spoke with my wife and told her, you know, we've been to the best doctors, we've been on all these medications, now we're looking at surgery. Nobody has an answer about, you know, why this is happening. And so I said the only thing we haven't done is change his diet. So we got rid of everything in the house that contained any kind of preservatives or additives, and it was also interesting to see that they changed the name on a lot of stuff, so that you don't really know what it is. So where they make it at the plant, it doesn't have to say what's in it. And
like MSG?
Yeah, like MSG. And change the name all the time, and
yes,
have it come from other sources so they don't have to label it. And anyways, we changed his diet, and within 2 weeks, the fluid drained out of his brain.
Wow.
We were making him juices, you know, just a lot of whole vegetables. We got rid of anything that had preservatives, just fish and meats and vegetables and fruit, and it cut out everything else. And no candy, no fast food, no boxed food at all, almost all of it. We did, because he missed some of it, made him Annie's macaroni and cheese, you know, and it said it didn't have any preservatives or anything, but we really got rid of all boxed food. But yeah, within a couple weeks, all the fluid drained out of his brain. His color came back. He wasn't pale anymore.
Wow.
He started playing again. He started having fun with his friends. He started going out, and we had, when we went back to the doctor at Mayo Clinic, he asked what happened, what changed, and we told him it was the diet. And he said, yeah, that can make all the difference in the world. And we said, well, how come you didn't tell us this? And how come no one else told us this? And he said, well, nobody actually does it. That was his answer. Nobody actually does it.